Hi guys, it's your VMR. Welcome to VMR LOGICS YouTube channel. Right? Now today's class guys, we are going to see questions based on logical thinking. Last class continuation, logical thinking guys, okay? Now the concept name all of you. When in the question, if you observe one thing is constant, then the P ratio and Q ratio are inversely proportional to each other. This is the basic point. Let's see an example guys, observe. When one thing is constant, the P ratio and Q ratio are inversely proportional. Here A is constant or fixed. A is constant or we can call it as a fix. Then the P ratio and Q ratio, how they are? Inversely proportional to each other. Let's see an example guys. Let's see 120 is a number. I am writing 120 as 30 into 4. Or else 120 I am writing as 10 into 12. Okay. So if you look at the P ratio, if you observe in the question 120 is constant in both the cases. 120 is constant in both the cases. Then this is a P ratio and this is a Q ratio. P ratio 30 by 10, 3 is to 1. Q ratio 4 by 12, 1 is to 3. So 3 by 1, 1 by 3. How they were? They were 3 by 1, 1 by 3 are inversely proportional to each other. One more example, look. 60, let's take 60 all of you. I am writing the 60 as 15 into 4. And I am writing 60 as 10 into 6. Right? 60, constant is 60 in both the cases, 60 is fixed. Then the P ratio 15 by 10, 5 table, 3 and 2. Q ratio 4 by 6, which is 2 by 3. The P ratio and Q ratio are inversely proportional when one thing is constant. Okay, it is constant, then P ratio, Q ratio are inversely proportional to each other. Right? So you need to search all of you what is constant in the question. Right? Now look, in the question of you, observe. Now let's see guys, first question. Okay. A man income is increased by 2,500 rupees all of you, whereas payable tax decreased from 24% to 20%. Then in both the cases 29.95% income tax is free in both the cases. Whereas payable tax is same. Find initial income. I repeat the question guys, observe. A man income increased by 2,500 rupees. Payable tax decreased from 24% to 20%. And 29.95% income tax is free in both the cases. Find initial income where payable tax is same in both the cases. This is the question. Now observe. In the question if you look, man income increased by 2,500 rupees. Initially payable tax 24% of the government is charging 24% income tax initially. Now the income tax rate of the government decreased 24% to 20%. The first question arises generally when payable tax is decreased from 24% to 20%, but payable tax is same in both the cases. The tax is called as liability here. The liability is same in both the cases. Liability. Okay. Why you can write it out? Why liability is same? When the tax rate decreased from 24% to 20% tax rate decreased, but the tax liability is same because man income is increased. The question, what is initial income? And one point given, 29.95% income tax is free in both the cases. Guys, this statement is optional. This is not at all required in the question actually. If you look in the question, what is constant guys? Payable tax is same in both the cases. Initially, how much income tax the man is paying? Now, the man is paying same income tax. Oh, in the question guys, you need to search for what is constant. In the question you need to search what is constant. Payable tax is same in both the cases. Payable tax is fixed. Now look at you. How you get payable tax? How you get payable tax? Generally tax, how you get? Income into tax percentage will give you payable tax. Okay. So in the question, you just search for what is constant. Tax is constant. How you get tax all of you? Income into tax percentage. Whatever the income is there, in that what is the government charging tax percent you calculate, that is the income tax you are paying, right? Now, initially tax rate is how much? 24%. Now tax rate is how much? 20%. When tax is constant, you are paying same tax. When the tax rate is 24%, now also 20%. Okay. When the tax rate is 24%, what are the income tax you are paying? When the tax rate is 20%, the same income tax you are paying. The meaning tax is constant. When tax is constant, initial income tax is 24, now 20. Tax now Q ratio. This is about P ratio and Q ratio. Q ratio, if you observe, 4 table 6, 4 table 5. Ratio is 6:5. When tax is a constant, the P ratio and Q ratio are inversely proportional. This is clearly 5/6. Meaning of this, when initial income of the man is 5 parts, now the income is 6 parts. Whereas man income increased by 1 part increased, and man income increased by 2,500. So 1 part is 2,500. The question initial income is how much? When 1 part is 2,500, initial income 5 parts, which is 12,500 is answer. Over. I repeat guys, simple question. When in the question, if anything is constant, guys, you search for anything is a constant or not. A payable tax is same in both the cases, right? Now, how you get payable tax? Income into tax percentage. Okay. Now, tax percentage, if you observe, initially 24, now 20%. So Q ratio I got 6/5. So automatic P ratio is what? 5/6. So the meaning of this, initially income is 5 part, now income is 6 parts. Increases on 1 part. Increases 2,500. So 1 part is 2,500. Initial income how much? 5 parts, 12,500. This is the question. Now, some other people may think that, sir, you are not caring about this point, but you should calculate that also. Okay, now look. Generally we saw. Okay. Now, man income is 2,500 rupee increased. Payable tax 24 to 20%. And 29.95% income tax is free in both the cases. And payable tax is same in both the cases. Find initial income, right? Now look. Generally guys, you are paying tax only for 29.95% income tax is free. That means you are paying 70.05% on the income. Okay, let's see, we'll do one thing. This is 29.95%. This I am treating as 30% for some time. Okay. So out of anybody income is 100% is 30% is income tax is free. So you are paying tax only on 70% of income. So 70% of income, on that you are paying tax. Initially tax rate how much? 24% tax rate. Okay, that's the initial income tax. Now income increased by 2,500. Income is increased by 2,500. Okay, and on that you are paying 70% income. 70% you are paying tax. Tax rate is given to you now 20%. If you observe 70 cancel. 4 table 5 times, 4 table 6 times. So clearly 6i is equal to 5i plus 12,500. So I is equal to 12,500, where I is nothing but initial income. The process, right? So first question of you, the point of view, the P ratio, Q ratio are inversely proportional when one thing is constant. Okay. This point of view will see more clarity with one more example, guys. Okay. Question is now, fresh fruit contains 68% water. Dry fruit contains 20% water. How much dry fruit can be obtained from 200 kgs fresh fruit? Question. I repeat question all of you. Fresh fruit contains 68% water. Dry fruit contains 20% water. How much dry fruit can be obtained from 200 kgs fresh fruit? Okay. Now all of you observe. Simple question. Guys, there is a fresh fruit of you, fresh fruit to dry fruit. Some examples let us see. If you observe of you, fresh fruit to dry fruit, grapes to kismis. Grape is a fresh fruit and dry fruit is a kismis. Next one. One more example of you. Dates to dates. Dates to dates is a fresh fruit. Dates, and we have once again dates only, dry fruit. Or fig to anjeer. There are many things that are there, fresh fruit to dry fruit. Let's see best example of you. Grapes to kismis. Okay. Now, fresh fruit contains all of you. In the grape, if you take 68% water is there. Okay. And I am giving you 200 kg grapes to you, which consists of 68% water. From the grapes after you need to prepare with the 200 kg grapes, you need to prepare dry fruit, that means kismis. How many kgs you get kismis? Where the kismis should contain 20% water, right? Now if you look at in both the cases, if you look, in the question says what is constant usage. If you look, I hope pulp is same in both the cases. See what are you doing? Initially grape is containing 68% water. You are removing some water from the grapes so that you are going to get a dry fruit. Yes or no? So how do you get dry fruit? Just remove some water. In the grape, if you observe, there are two things are there. One is the grape is there, other is pulp is there. You are not removing any pulp. You are focusing is what? You are removing only water, right? Pulp is same. So in the question you just said what is constant. I hope you can say very clearly pulp is constant. Initially here what pulp is there, here also the same pulp is there. Yes or no? You are not removing any pulp, even you are not adding any pulp. What are the grapes is given to you? With that grapes you are preparing a dry fruit. That means pulp is same. If you look, initially generally any grape is 100%. In that 68% water. So how much pulp is there? Pulp how much is there? 32% pulp is there here. Right? 20% water. How much pulp is there? 80% pulp is there. Right? Pulp is same in both the cases. So in the question what is constant? Pulp is constant. Now pulp. How you get pulp of you? Pulp is equal to in the total quantity into pulp percentage. How you get pulp of you? Total quantity into pulp percentage. You are going to get how much pulp is there? Total quantity into pulp percentage. Now what is fixed in the question? Pulp is fixed. Pulp is constant in the question. Because you are not removing any pulp, even you are not adding any pulp. Pulp is fixed. When pulp is constant, one is constant, the P ratio and Q ratio are inversely proportional to each other. Pulp percentage initially 32%, now pulp percentage 80%, ratio 16 table 2 times, 16 table 5 times, 2 by 5. When Q ratio is 2 by 5, P ratio is 5 by 2. Meaning of this, initially total quantity 5 parts initially, now total quantity only 2 parts. Initially there are 200 kgs are given to you. Now how much is there? 540 sir, 200, 240 sir, 80. That's it. So answer, how much pulp is there? 80. How much dry fruit you are going to get? 80 kgs. Initially 200 kg fresh fruit is there. Dry fruit only 2 parts, which is 80 kgs. Right? Let's see. One more example. One more example. Again. Generally guys, in the question, you just observe what is constant. If you look at you, I am giving some fresh fruit to you. With that you are making dry fruit, right? So what's your job? You are removing some water. You are extract some water from that. So pulp is same. You are not adding pulp. You are not removing the pulp. So pulp is same. How we get pulp all of you? Pulp how you get? Pulp is equal to total quantity into pulp percentage, right? In the question, pulp is constant because you are not adding any pulp, even you are not removing pulp. So, pulp percentage initially 32%, now pulp percentage 80%, 16 table 2 and 5. When pulp is 2 by 5 ratio, total quantity becomes 5 by 2 ratio. Q ratio, P ratio are inversely proportional. In meaning of this, initially total quantity is 5 parts, now only 2 parts. Initially given to you fresh fruit, now you are giving dry fruit. 5 parts is given to you 200 kgs, 1 part 40, so 2 parts are of you 80 kgs, that is dry fruit. Over. A simple concept. Okay. Now let's see guys, one more question with the same example. Let's see one more example, same example guys, same example. Okay. Guys, now the third question I have you. Now the third question. 90 liters wine solution contains 20% water. 90 liter wine solution contains 20% water. How much water must be removed so that the solution contains 10% water? I repeat question. 90 liter wine solution contains 20% water. How much water must be removed from that solution so that the result should contain only 10% water? If you do that, there is actually question there guys. So a solution is there which consists of 90 liter solution is there. In that, there is 20% water. Okay, a solution is there. In that, 90 liters is there. Out of that, 20% water is there. From that 90 liters, if you remove some water, so that the result should contains 10% water. Is the question, right? You just think of, you come and say in the question what is constant. I hope clearly you can say that wine is constant. You are removing only water, guys. You are removing water. So I think here wine is same. Yes or no? In the question you just said what is constant. I hope you can say very clearly wine is constant because you are removing some water is removed. That's all. Wine is not removed. So what is constant in the question you said? We say very clearly wine is constant. So how you get wine? How you get enough of wine? Come on, how you get wine? Wine is equal to total quantity into wine percentage. The point. In the question, what is constant or fixed? Wine is constant. When one thing is constant, the P ratio and Q ratio, how they are inversely proportional to each other. Based on that point now, if you look, initially wine percentage 20% water indicating 80% wine, 10% water indicating 90% wine, right? So wine ratio, if you observe, 80 initially, later 90. Wine ratio is 8/9. When wine ratio is 8/9, total quantity ratio becomes 9/8. Meaning of that, initially 9 parts is the total solution. Now only 8 parts. Initially 9 parts is total solution. Now only 8 parts is there. How many parts removed? 1 part removed. 1 part removed. Initially 9 parts is 90 liters. Now removed only 1 part. 10 liters water should be removed. That's the answer. How much removed means one part which is 10 liters should be removed. That's it, right? So simple points are happening. The P ratio and Q ratio, how they are? They are inversely proportional to each other when amount is constant. This is the point. With this point you can solve many questions, guys. Many questions you can solve. If you observe in the question, suppose one thing is constant, you observed enough. When one thing is constant, you can apply P ratio and Q ratio are inversely proportional to each other, right? Okay guys, in the next video, we will see some more logical thinkings. All the best guys.